One of the most charming ancient ideas is each soul that enters the world is unique, never having been seen before, never being reproduced at any time. So that means that each of our lives is a unique adventure in the world, in the living world. And then I like very much the idea that the soul bears our natural talents and gifts, and also that the soul is aimed. So we enter the world with an aim, a destiny would be the really accurate word, a thing that we're destined to seek if we allow it. And that the nature of the individual soul is that it involves certain gifts and capacities. And those gifts are intended to be given. And if we are not finding the gifts and given the gifts, we are actually not living our life. We're living someone else's life. And you could say, unfortunately, in the modern world, most people are leading someone else's life. And when the world gets contentious and polarized like it is now, when you can't find necessarily good guidance on the outside or confirmation for the kind of qualities of one's own life, you really have to find it within. So that knowing the nature of the soul and even getting clear the idea that we are aimed from the beginning and that we are here as unique beings with specific gifts to give, to me is encouraging in what you could call the dark times. If you take modern ideas like the mind-body separation, which is a common thing, to think of, most people are suffering from a separation between the mind and the body. People will often talk about the body as if they're not in it, which is an indication of a dissociation in the culture. Well, that dissociation could also be called loss of soul. So if you take the old idea of even spirit and matter, what connects spirit and matter is soul. So then you could also say you can find soul by distinguishing it from spirit. So spirit is connected to air and fire and tends to rise, and it tends to rise towards the one. Spirit, even when you say it, is like one spirit. We're all descended from the one. Soul is connected to water and earth, and it descends. And it descends into the multiplicity and the many. So soul and spirit are different that way, although secretly they're connected. And in many old stories, the first thing is the presence of the soul, and then the second thing is the spirit in the soul. And so when people feel lost, it's soul that has been lost. When people are divided, it indicates a loss of soul. And so you could say we're living in a period of the loss of soul on an individual level and especially on a collective level. And so part of what everyone needs in terms of medicine, in terms of healing process, is reconnection to the depth of the soul. And I'll just finish by saying this old idea, the soul cannot be overwhelmed. The individual can be overwhelmed. As we're seeing right now, the collective can be overwhelmed. The soul cannot be overwhelmed. So the more we are connected to soul, the less likely we will be overwhelmed by the circumstances of life, which are becoming increasingly difficult.